So as we're talking Shinedown, 3 Days Grace, POD, Bridgestone Arena, February the 8th, we also get a chance to sit down Mr. Brent Smith from Shinedown. How's it going, bud?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your day, man. I know you're busy, man, so I appreciate it. We're really excited about this tour. I finally got it announced today, so we're super, super stoked.
We got the news and knew it was coming through Friday. We started talking about the announcement today, and but there's been an excitement. This is a cool tour pushing through. You guys Shinedown along with 3 Days Grace, POD, February the 8th, Bridgestone Arena. That's a cool arena show right there, man. And you guys are shooting around the beginning of the tour. I guess just kind of back it up to it all got together as far as the bands and decided to hit back on the road so quick.
Well, the thing is that we did Uproar earlier in 2012 of this year, and we were finishing that up, and then we went to Europe and the UK, and we just got back from that. We had been working on this tour with 3 Days Grace and POD pretty much during the time that we were, we started Uproar like 2 months ago. We kind of keep everything between right around 3 months ahead of schedule at all times. So we've been really, really looking forward. And I'm not just saying this. I know a lot of times, when tours start, everyone's like, yeah, we've just really, we've always wanted to work together and this and that and the other. We really mean this. Like, we have a lot of admiration for not only POD, but 3 Days Grace. I'm a huge fan, have been for a long time. To put, these three bands together, us and 3 Days Grace and POD, we're really, really raising the bar on this particular tour, and we're all really excited about it. The productions are going to be, we're going to go over the top on this one. And, with the Bridgestone Arena, especially in Nashville, it's a legendary place, man. It's a big room. And, it's the legend, of Nashville, Tennessee, with the country music and all those different aspects. People talk about, rock, in Nashville. You know what, man? There's a reason people write songs about how rock and roll is never going to die, because it's the truth. And we're probably, this first leg of touring, I'm the most excited about the Nashville show. It's an honor to play that room and to be on this tour. So we're really, really, we're taking it very seriously with the production that we're going to be bringing to that, to that room and to the town. And, even through all the genres of music, man, through life and just what we all listen to, it's never going to stray too far away from drums, bass, guitar, badass vocals, and a killer song. And the reality is that, rock and roll is not really a genre of music. It's a way of life. So, to bring it to town, we're, all three bands, we're really excited.
All three bands coming off just great albums. You guys with Amaryllis, 3 Days Grace, just experiencing incredible success right now. POD, a lot of people were saying, wow, this is kind of a comeback album for those guys. So, you talk about timing of all this. It's just, perfect storm in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely. Transit is Venus is really, it's a deep, deep record. It's a great record that 3 Days Grace just put out. And, The new POD record, man, once again, very deep. I've been a fan of POD for so long, man. I'm talking like old school fan, all the way back to the first album. And, it's, for us, man, it's, being able to be a part of this tour and to be able to go out with these guys. The thing is that when you combine all of the singles with all three bands, and you put that together as far as, there's a lot of number one songs, man. I don't necessarily mean to for all three bands toot our own horn or anything like that, but, there's a lot of hits going into this set list, for all the bands. So it's going to be an amazing night of music, man, and songs.
Well, we were talking about that. We were sitting around going, this is going to be one of those shows that everybody in the crowd is going to go, I know that song. I know that song. I know that. It's going to be a big sing-along night. This is kind of what I predict for it, because you're right. You talk about Shinedown, 3 Days Grace, POD. There's roots there, and you're right. A lot of hits. I'll go ahead and say it again so you don't have to, but absolutely. Now, you mentioned playing Nashville, what people may or may not know. You can actually claim Tennessee. You're born in Knoxville, right?
I was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you talk about playing Nashville. Growing up and just kind of in the music biz, coming in and out, and the importance of the Nashville music scene. There, you kind of touched on it before, but a little bit of extra passion when it comes to getting back here in Tennessee, getting back in Nashville.
Absolutely, but I have to be totally honest. I have an affection, for Nashville, Tennessee. I cut my teeth there on a lot of different levels as far as the songwriting, the style that I do, and a lot of people that I learned a lot from a lot of the songwriters in Nashville, Tennessee. I've gotten a lot of chances to work with a lot of different artists there. So it's a big deal for me, man, personally, to play that city and to play that arena. And I want everybody to know that, we don't take it lightly, man, and we're going to be bringing, in my opinion, the show of the year, to be able to start it off, the beginning of next year, playing there. It's a big deal for me, man, and for the band, and it's a big honor to play the city, man. It's Music Row and everything that has to do with it. We're looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, again, February the 8th, Bridgestone Arena. Tickets go on sale this Friday, 10 a.m., all Ticketmaster locations. One thing I wanted to ask, and I don't want to veer away from the show too much, because we got you guys coming in with Amaryllis. We're talking about that. But in a recent interview, you did put it out, and of course it hit the trades, that you guys have already basically have an album written. So go into that a little bit more. You guys are already set for the next step, or do you mean you have like the groundwork laid, or kind of give me a little bit more on that if you can?
No, we have it recorded.
Oh, it's recorded and done.
It's not necessarily groundwork. It's like more like it's done.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
There's no, when we went in and we were working on Amaryllis and we were putting it together and we were focusing on the songs for Amaryllis, we wrote 33 songs.
Wow.
For the record itself, and we recorded all of it. In a lot of ways, I think we technically probably have 2 other records.
Wow.
But we're very, very specific about the songs that went on Amaryllis, and some of them didn't make this particular record, but that doesn't mean that those songs die. They're sitting there waiting to be heard, but it's just depending on, what we're going to do with it. Are we going to release something later on in 2013? Are we going to release something in 2014? Just have to wait and see. At the end of the day, we write a lot and we record it, and that's the beauty of music, man. We don't want to keep it from our fans. But we're very focused on Amaryllis right now. We want the world to, really hear that record, and for it to be able to be realized by a lot of different people all over the world. But yeah, man, I mean, we totally have another record, if not, 2 other records kind of finished. Now will I get, as we go into next year and what have you, I'm always looking at, well, if we didn't release this, on this particular record, do these songs fit, where the band is leaning towards? Like, to be totally honest with you, the album that I'm talking about that's kind of waiting in the wings, so to say, is a lot darker. It's a little bit more mischievous. The lyrical content's a bit different. It's nothing that necessarily, right now is not the time to put those songs out there.
Yeah.
We want to focus on Amaryllis, but, just letting people know there are other songs, waiting to be heard.
We'll wait on that, and that's great news. Let's kind of swing back to Amaryllis here real quick. Again, the show, February the 8th, Bridgestone Arena. You guys can get your tickets. We're going to give away a pair of tickets here in a couple minutes. We have Thursday. We're going to give you a chance to beat the box office and score some tickets as well, and then, of course, 10 a.m. Friday, the sale date. I wanted to ask you real quick, because we're about to play Enemies, getting a chance to kind of beat the crap out of your bandmates, even though it may have been, it had to be a blast, right?
It was one of the funnest days that we had on that particular, when we were talking about putting the idea and the concept together, it was actually really, really natural. We wanted to make it fun, though. It's supposed to be, it was funny, too, man, because we got, censored by YouTube and a bunch of other people with that. We had a bunch of overseas, video channels that wouldn't play the video because of the violence and everything. I was like, you're going to have to get a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Seriously. This is supposed to be fun. It is fun. You can't take yourself too seriously. We wouldn't, that's just not the way that we are. I mean, the fact is that we really wanted to present a video, because listen, people may not know this, but music videos right out of the gate when they're being filmed, there's always one guy, if it's a producer or an editor or even the director, they already know that someone is going to be, taking notes of how many people are going to make fun of this later on. You know what I mean? Like Beavis and Butthead are a prime example of that. Some people's careers were destroyed by them, and then there's Rob Zombie, whose career was created by them.
Right, yeah.
So, it comes down to, music videos are supposed to be fun, lighthearted, 3-minute and 30-second mini movies. So we wanted to make a video for this particular song where people could just be like, their jaw would go on the ground, they would laugh, and then they would just be like, did that really just happen?
Yeah.
Did they really just do that? That's kind of what we wanted. And I think we succeeded with that. We definitely got people talking about it.
Yeah, for sure. And if they ever think that it's too serious, just have them go watch the video of the, the tour of the bus. That
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I'll just leave that out there. I'll have a lot of people. They'll just go start Googling Shinedown tour bus now. Well worth the time to check that out. So I'll leave that. We'll leave that as a surprise.
You can Google Shinedown, tour video or tour bus video, something like that. Something will pop up, that will let's just put it this way, it'll entertain you.
Yeah, that's it. And if you'd like to check out the video to Enemies, you can check out our website, 1029thebuzz.com. We have it there for you, along with some more information about the show and links for you guys to get tickets. Again, February the 8th, Bridgestone Arena, Shinedown, 3 Days Grace, POD. Brent, buddy, man, thanks for taking the time and chatting a bit about this, and we look forward to seeing you guys and doing some more things when you're in town.
Thank you so much, man. I look forward to seeing you, man. I really appreciate all the love and the support, man, and I'll see you at the show.